Florida A&M University, University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and here. And I'll have a standing secretary, someone to keep up with my schedule. And I told her I don't think I can make it. So you know, in Mississippi, black women have a way of asking you to do something. And all at the same time, they telling you. In her case, she was asking me to be here, but at the same time, she was telling me, you're going to be in New York. As Michael Ford stated, my family was blessed with 164 acres of land in 1889. My great-grandfather, George Tisdale, acquired a homestead. He got his 40 acres and a mule.
All right.
He acquired a homestead from the United States government. I have the original document. I intend to bring a copy for Dr. White, signed by President Grover Cleveland himself. The original document giving this land to my great-grandfather. But then on a little research in it, you have to understand that at one time this was Native American land. So when they signed the Treaty of Dancing Rabbit in 1831 and they seceded all that land to the United States, they forced the Native Americans out of that part of Mississippi on what is known as the Trail of Tears. So that opened that land up for homesteading. And there was a number of families there, the Tisdale family, the McNair family, the Miles family, the McGilvery families, and that received homestead. But education had a very important place to play in it. There was a gentleman there by the name of Fezell Miles that had attended Hampton University. So in 1889, he was the only one that didn't know how to read and write. So he was doing the documentation for both black and white to acquire this land. As it proceeded on, you know, now this farm is well over 300 acres. Every generation had its land to it. And it's some of the best fertile land in Mississippi. Brother Malik from Detroit, it's so rich it can grow cherries. And I tell my daughter when she was growing up and she wanted all this and that, I said, money don't grow on trees, it grow in the ground.
There you go.
So you got to go to work. And my daughter is the 5th generation. She married about 3 years ago and moved 100 miles away from it, but she married a cattle farmer. So her and her husband raised beef cattle and horses. And believe it or not, they raised rodeo stock animals. Did you believe anybody can make a living raising rodeo animals? You'll run with us, they get those bronking bulls and bronking horses from. Somebody has to produce them animals, and that's what they do for a living. So if you go to a rodeo, you might see some of their bulls, horses, a calf being rode. But I'm here today, and believe me, I'm not gonna keep you long. As my pastor said, I'm on. What was her name? Elizabeth Taylor was married 7 times. What did she say? I'm not gonna keep you long. I'm not going to keep it long. But I've been inspired here today. You know, in Mississippi and Georgia and all in the South, we kind of take what we do for granted. I see a spirit here that we don't have. You know, I've been farming all my life. I never fill out a job application in my life.
All right now.
I've been farming 40 years. I went to Alcorn State University. I got a degree in agriculture, and I went home with the intention of farming 1 year. Now it's been 40 years.
Well, thank you.
But I went home with my little degree in my hand, Dr. White. I thought I was something. I had a PhD degree in agriculture. But my father and my grandfather had never used chemicals. And what did I take them home? Monsanto.
Oh, no.
Atlantico. BFA, Wyandotte, all the chemicals. I was taught in school. The land grant institution taught me that you go back and monocrop cotton, I can make a living.
Mercy.
You need type of chemical. This is what they were teaching.
Yes.
But after 3 years, I see that wasn't going to work.
Well.
So my farm now is totally chemical free.
Well.
Is a typical southern black farmer. I have a variety of crops. I have my bank, 100 acres of pine trees.
All right now.
Old growth, long leaf pine. And that is my mother and grandmother. Some of my trees are well over 100 years old. So somebody stated if you plant a tree, if I plant a tree, it's definitely not for me, for my grandchildren. On my farm, I had 20 pecan trees when Katrina came. Katrina got all 20 of them. So I planted 11 back. It's my intention to plant 30 back. If anybody knows anything about a pecan tree, it's 15 to 20 years. But the tree that I had was planted in 1910 and 1920. So that whole intergeneration thing would keep farming going.
That's right.
Knowledge that passed down from one generation to another generation to generation. You know, I know all those terms they taught me, they all come about soil acidity and trichotinous leaves about plants and how much rain, how many sun hours, how much heat tolerance and all of that. My mother and father know all of that.
Come on.
My grandfather.
Yeah.
They might didn't know the correct term, but they know all of that.
That's right.
Take these from farming. And someone said about planting by the moon, we said planting by the sun. You got a farmer's almanac, and you got, you know, when the sun is, when the lady stand with a bloom in her hand, that's when it's time to plant above ground crops and below ground crops. You know, they say at home, black farmers plant by the moon. What the white farmer do? He plants by money. But you know, it's definitely something to those things.
It is.
You know, I don't tend to plant by me speaking all over the country and the world. I have to plant when I can sometimes. But the technology is moving fast in agriculture. Now, the people that left Mississippi and went north, I agree with you. If they had stayed, all of the elected officials in Mississippi would be black. So we make up 40% of the vote in Mississippi.
How about that?
Officially, but unofficially, it's probably 50%. So if they stay, but the problem we have is we're letting them stay from it. You know, we created an environment where through racism and mechanization of the farm, there's no labor force there. But now 2 people can farm 2,000 acres.
No.
You only need 2 men
Mercy.
to farm 2,000 acres. So now you don't see no farm labor on the farm now. You see, if it's a white farm, the father and son, they all got those tractors with, you know, they build a tractor now with 2 seats in them. Because everything on GPS satellite, you need somebody to talk to while you're going down the road. While you're climbing, you don't have to navigate the tractor no more. You know, and planters, I have a set of planters that use air to plant the seed. And then if I'm planting turnip seed and I want to put 90,000 seeds to the acre, I just turn a gauge on it. And instead of rolling it up and mashing the seed in the ground with a wheel. The air shoots the seed in the ground.
How about that?
And this, and when I get through that, and just look at it, it tells me exactly how many seeds I put to an acre. So all that technology is there. Now, how many of us is small farm can afford that type of thing?
Come on, say it, say it.
But so the only way you can do that is by working together in cooperative.
That's right,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
My cooperative, about 10 pieces of equipment is owned by all the farmers,
All right,
and we work together.
yeah.
And the Federation of Southern Cooperative based up on that principle of cooperative working together.
Say it.
Somebody said that earlier today about working together.
That's right.
And that's what this whole conference is about. That's what I'm here about. How can we as farmers in Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia work with urban gardens here in New York, in Detroit, in Cleveland, and the new mayor of Jackson, I think he has roots here in Detroit, Chuckway.
His daughter's here.
From Detroit.
His daughter's in the audience right now.
Well, hopefully in March we're going to try to do some of the things that you all doing here in Jackson and other cities in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Jackson is the only city in the state of Mississippi. Everything else is ruled. and some great ideas I learned here about, as I said, I just think you all spirit
Well,
about what you all doing. And I'm going to try to take that spirit back to my fellow farmers in Mississippi. You know, most of them get up in the morning, they enjoy farming because they wouldn't stay in it for 40 years.
Right.
And then if you didn't all stay in it for 40 years, you undoubtedly made a little money along the way. Or if you hadn't, you couldn't be invented. And farming is not so much labor intensive, it's more management intensive.
well.
And technology and seeds and things. I grow heirloom watermelons on my farm. Stars and moon. Everybody just tell that watermelon? Cobb Gem, Stone Mountain, Black Diamond, Rattlesnake. These are old time varieties. Somebody was talking earlier about the seed that come from Africa. I don't know whether you can believe this or not, but this is a hand-me-down story.
All right.
From generation to generation.
That's right.
The okra seed that I planted came from West Africa.
Well,
It was a sister that was captured gathering okra in the field. And she helped these plants all the way to New Orleans.
say it, tell
And
us.
she was sold to a plantation up the river. And these seeds been handed down generation to generation to generation in Mississippi and Louisiana. Have you ever seen an okra? It's a little fat pod. So I'm in a village in Senegal, on the border of Senegal and Guinea-Bissau, I believe. Guinea-Bissau. So I'm looking at the okra there. And also I look at it and said, there might be some truth to this story. Another lady in my community, this was 20 years ago, I've been going to Africa now since 1992, I believe. And I made 29 different trips.
All right.
She knew that I was going to Africa. She said, it's going to be a lady sitting beside the road over there with a red rag on her head, selling something good for high blood pressure. Again, I said, this can't be true. She never been to Africa. I'm in St. Louis this time in Senegal. And lo and behold, what did I see? Lady sitting inside the road with a bunch of herbs in a bucket. And I asked her about some for high blood pressure. She gave me some sticks like I took them back to Mississippi. So the connection is there.
That's right.
In blood and spirit.
That's right. Say it.
In the mind and everything. The way we are.
Say
We
it.
cannot deny it. But you know, this whole thing of food, growing food, one thing we all have in common, you have to eat. And most people do what? Eat to live. But in New Orleans, they say it the other way around. They live to eat. But I would like to be able to go from New York to Chicago to Canada. You know, everybody in this country, every group of people is known for something. All the hotels and convenience stores are owned by somebody other than us. All the money, all the banking institution is owned by somebody. And what is we known for as a people?
Buying stuff from other people.
I would like to see us be known for high quality fresh food. Certain part of neighborhood, and I know what I can find.
Yes.
And that begins here. And that begins in South Mississippi. That begins in South Georgia. That begins in the Mississippi Delta. You know, the Mississippi Delta is some of the richest soil in the world.
Yes.
And we cleared it all up. We farmed it. Today we own very little of it.
Yes.
So land ownership is no matter what it is in this world. I don't care what it is. It can be what these young people got now, iPhones, iPads, Blackberries, Kindle, and go on and on. It traces itself back to the land.
Well,
Because the material to make that computer had to come from the land.
that's right.
I don't care what it is, the clothes you got on, the pen in your hand, the shoes on your feet, everything comes from the land. And you know, he or she who controls the land controls the wealth, control our destiny. You know, in the state of Mississippi, we are famous for being number 50 in everything. Just about everything. You know, we got the highest childhood birth rate, death rate. We the fattest people. I don't know how we became the fattest people. At the same time, we're the poorest state in the union. High blood pressure, we got diabetes, you name it. But we have one or two other things we are fortunate to have. We have the second highest number of black farmers in any state in the union. Only Texas. And in one of the few states where we have a high land ownership.
Right.
We actually have some counties in Mississippi where black people own more land than white people.
Well, all
In the
right
state of
now.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
So the struggle never ends.
That's right.
The battle continues. But I think if we learn how to work together, both regional, local, national,
That's right.
we can come out of this movement with something that's tangible. Something that'll last for years,
Yes.
but outlast us. I like the work being done in Cleveland, in Detroit, here in New York, and I'm trying to see how we can work together.
Yes.
And we grow all types of vegetables. Some of our farmers grow for Walmart, some grow for Trader Joe, Whole Foods, U.S. Food Service, Kraft. We grow for all of them. And we grow a lot of processed vegetables for bird's eye, camel soup, and on and on and on and on. But in reality, we don't control none of it.
That's right. That's right.
So we got to take it a step further. Instead of just producing, we want to control it some these days from the field to the table.
That's right. That's right.
And we want to be wholesome, we want to be good food, we want to be quality, and we want it to be affordable.
That's right.
You know, to farm today requires quite a bit of money even to start a farm. If you want to start a 100-acre farm now, you need at least $1 million. You got to buy the land equipment and everything. But it's possible. Young people that want to farm, you can really farm, and you can make a living out of it. I'm living proof that you can make a living out of it. 'Cause I've been doing it all my life. And I've been fortunate enough, because of farming, I'm here today.
Well, all
If
right.
it wasn't for farming, I wouldn't be here. And I like the research that Dr. White is doing, and just keep up the good work. There's a whole history of struggle in land relations, how farmers supported the civil rights movement, how we put up our land to get people out of jail.
Well,
Just a few years ago, you know, in Mississippi, you do certain crimes, money, they don't want a money bond. They want a property bond. They want somebody to put up 40 acres of land or 100 acres of land to get you out of jail. And no, that's another way of trickery,
that's right.
getting your land out from up under you. And there's been so many cases of that. We studied in the Federation of Racism and trickery, and it comes, some of it came straight from the government.
Well,
From the federal and state government that work to get land from up under our ownership. So we work very hard in the Federation to help our farmers hold on to what we have, and even acquire more land. I grew up in a community at one time, it was 5,000 acres of African American owned land. Now we're down to less than 3,000 acres in one small community. There used to be 40 to 50 farmers in that community. It's down to 8 farmers. Now you can contribute that to the increased use of mechanization. You don't need as many people to do it. As much work, but in the case of vegetable farming, most all of that is hand harvest. In the case of my farm, I have to rely on 25 individuals to help harvest. I'm fortunate enough that all 25 is related to me one way or the other. Either by marriage or blood. So, you know, anything worth doing, it takes working together.
that's right.
It takes struggle, it takes commitment, and it takes time.
That's right.
Sometimes I have 4 great nephews, all 4 of them on the farm. They grown young men, so I have to work with them. They have to work, I have to get them when I can, more or less. The last 2 I got that's really helping me. One gonna join, he done signed up for the Air Force. He shipped out on January 1st. And the other side, he want, for all reasons I don't know why, he want to be a state trooper in Mississippi. So he leave on the 1st. And I used to wonder, I said, you know, I'm going to run out of young men one day. And I got to think, as long as men and women, I never run out of young men. But they're always going to be having some children in this community. So instead of my great-nephew, I'll be working with my great-great-nephew in a few years. So you just continue on and on. And you look at the work of passing things on from one generation to another generation. That's the only way you can build wealth. You know, I have seen in situations where one generation acquire 200 acres of land, one generation lose it, another generation buy it back. If you fight that cycle, you never be able to build that intergenerational wealth that can be built upon for a good foundation to move forward and to continue to look to the future. You know, I'm a die-hard in the wood National Baptist.
All right.
You know, Baptist things come slow in the Baptist church. I mean, real slow. You know, change, you know, all the new rights and gun control, and I'm not a, oh y'all mad, I'm not a gun control person. You know, change is coming. My whole point is change is on its way. And we need to be prepared for it.
Right.
That's right.
But instead of somebody else changing it for us, let's change it ourselves.
Yeah.
Too many times we react to certain things. Why come we can't never be the actors?
Well,
You know, we have to, instead of forcing to react to something, we need to be, somebody need to be reacting to what we did.
That's right.
And that's the kind of future I'd like to see for us to go forward on. And it all come back to working together, the struggling together, land, I'm always gonna go back to land. And the trust we have with one another.
that's right.
In my workshop, somebody stayed out, well, I can't call the name, but we've been in several meetings together that in the produce business, I sell to Whole Food or sell to U.S. Food Service. I don't have a signed contract. I just have a handshake and a word. And it's been working now for not since 1993. I've been sitting in those companies. And it's based upon this trust. And it's based upon a mutual respect that if I say I'm gonna grow 2,000 boxes of #1 bell pepper, that you're gonna buy 2,000 boxes of #1 bell pepper. On my farm, my money crops are collard greens.
All right. Yeah.
I grow about 40 acres of collard greens.
Well,
That is the crop, collard green #1, watermelon #2,
all right.
and okra is #3.
Well,
And all those are traditional southern crops.
that's right.
And all of them from Africa.
That's right. All of them.
And in the case of collard greens and sweet potatoes, it's more collard greens and sweet potatoes sold between Thanksgiving and Christmas than any other time of the year. So we time our crop to be ready this time of year. We also know that in Ohio Valley, they're going to have extreme cold weather pretty soon. So we time our crops to be ready to ship up into the Ohio Valley. Everything is based up on a cycle, on a season. It just goes in, and if you can really learn how to work with Mother Nature instead of working against Mother Nature, you can become a better farmer.
That's right. That's right.
So in my closing, I just like to say that, as I first stated, I'm a deacon in my church. My pastor don't see me much. He said I'm one of the wayward deacons nowadays. But when I was growing up, there was a prayer that we used to pray. And I'm going to leave y'all with this prayer. And it goes that, our Father and our Lord, this land which thou hast given me dominion over for only a short while, that it produce, that I may leave it in a better shape than which I received it.
Man.
Father, we know that one day I must give up this old walk of life. I must lay down this old frail body and die. Father, I ask you to let the spirit go back to the one who gave it. This old body to the soil that it become nourishment for the preceding generation. I know that one day I must take off my reputation. I must hang it on the wall. No need for it to be recalled. When my bed become my cooling board, my sheet my winding cloth, my pillow my tombstone, I stick my sword in the sea of time. Instead of walking no more, cross me over. Great Jehovah, pilgrim in a barren land, to that great place where there will be no more suffering, no more pain, no more sorrow. In thy name we say, thank you for allowing me to be here today.